Welcome back. Whether you're a rancher in the mountains of California or the rolling grasslands of Florida, you know that your cattle need the proper minerals to be healthy and profitable. But knowing that every single cow in the herd is consuming an adequate amount is where the challenge begins. Cattleman to Cattleman reporter Matt Fleck has more from Southeast Arizona.
In my era, if you were a boy growing up, that you wanted to be one of three things: a cowboy, a fireman, or a policeman. And I chose to be a cowboy.
Just 10 miles from the Mexican border, Guy Hudson is living out his dream as a cowboy by managing the Double E Ranch, a 20,000-acre commercial cow-calf operation. Guy has learned how to deal with the unique countryside over the years, but the historic drought created a whole new level of challenges. Everybody's cattle numbers are down a little bit, and when your cattle numbers are down, you cut your cow herd a little bit and cut your supplement and those types of things, and because your cow numbers are down, you make less money, and your calves you don't have as many calves to sell, and you end up weaning them a little early because you want to protect your cow and help her to have her next calf, and it just financially is hard when we don't get the rain, especially in this Arizona desert. The severe drought mixed with a tough landscape makes the need for mineral nutrition more important than ever before.
It was very difficult from the standpoint, we don't always have water available. We don't always have good pasture. Grass is always native grasses and browse, and so being able to keep your cattle in good condition, making sure that they have they cycle, that they have a good calf crop, that your calves that are weaned are a good wean weight. That's all really difficult for many of our ranchers out here across the state. It's just an unusual country. The mineral program is going to be beneficial whether it's drought or it's raining, because these grasses in this country don't carry everything that a cow needs. They're always deficient in something. So when you feed a mineral program, it's going to pick up the slack that this range doesn't provide.
We also know that mineral it affects every aspect of a cow, from how she's going to lactate to how she's going to her reproductive side of that. It also affects energy metabolism, protein metabolism, and also the bacteria in the rumen also have those requirements. And so when we don't have those minerals and they are deficient, that whole cow is deficient, and she just can't be an efficient product out on that pasture to really utilize everything.
Guy has been using a mineral product from Purina Animal Nutrition called Wind and Rain to keep his herd healthy and profitable, and he says the results speak for themselves. My conception rates have probably gone up 10 or 12%, and my weaning numbers have also, and it just pays for itself. The cows in the background here, they're in good shape for this time of year for the condition of the country, and I think mineral has a lot to do with that. I weaned an 88% calf crop this year. In this drought condition and for this ranch in this part of Arizona, that's as good as you can do.
Guy does a tremendous job with his cattle. He is thoughtful about the programs he wants to use. He is very in tune with what his cattle should look like, what the best management tools, and how he's going to maximize the resources he has to be able to get a better calf crop. He does a great job managing what could be construed as a very difficult environment to have cattle in.
People have come to help me work my cattle on this ranch, and they see the condition they're in, and they wonder why their cattle aren't in the same condition. And I think that a lot of my neighbors have started to use minerals because of the condition these cows have been in.
And Guy isn't the only one in the area seeing positive results from the Wind and Rain minerals. Kevin St. Clair is also seeing the benefits of a consistent mineral intake program after only 1 year.
The things that the Wind and Rain mineral has helped is just astronomical. My calf vigor is improved. I've noticed that this year. The calf, just a couple hours old, and he's up and he's gone. And calf vigor, the milk production on these cows is better, so that in turn helps your calves. You have a healthier calf right off the bat. Colostrum's a whole lot better in a cow that's been on a consistent mineral. I'm a little over a year into it. I started in December of last year, started with the Wind and Rain and the Super Block tub. Right now, as of today, I'm 48 days into my calving season this year, and I have 90% of my calves on the ground today.
As we can see by looking at these calves on the ground, majority of all these cows have already had these calves, and you can tell they're a really uniform set, so they've all come pretty close together. And so from a management perspective and managing the feed program, he's done a really good job of implementing the program and managing it so it's successful.
Kevin says despite the challenging terrain, making sure his cattle get the proper mineral nutrition, no matter if they are in a corral or on top of a mountain, is a top priority.
We cover a little bit of all kinds of country. We go from low bottom rolling hill country to big rock bluff high country up on the forest. Wind and Rain mineral works really good. I feed the loose just because of logistics. It's hard for me in some of this country to get the big tub up to places so I can haul a 50-pound sack on my mule and go put it where I need to.
Dr. Sanders says cattlemen don't have to wait until they see the herd's conception rates to know if a mineral program is working. He says you can tell by a change in the appearance of the cattle.
One of the first things I really recognize in cattle is just hair coat a lot of times, and hoof quality, and you can just kind of see a better health aspect of that whole cow from how she looks. And I don't think it's anything different than what we see in human health, where we talk about wellness, and that's really what we're talking about with these cattle. Is we're just talking about wellness of these cattle, making them healthier. And if you have healthy cattle, then you're going to have better performance in those calves.
True to its name, Purina's Wind and Rain mineral resists the harsh weather elements, which ensures it's always available to the cattle for consumption. And that is especially important in this part of the country, where weather conditions are extreme.
For the wind, that's the biggest thing in Arizona. In the springtime here, it's the only time real estate moves, and it goes from your land to the neighbor's land. But the wind and rain, it stays put. There'll be big old dirt storms and dust devils, but you go to the tub, it's still there.
A lot of times, it's going to stand in water, and so having those coatings, making them more resistant to water, makes that mineral still stay really consistent. The salt doesn't drain out of it, doesn't lose its color, and so it's still going to have all the nutrients in it that we had before.
In addition to reproductive health, Purina's Wind and Rain mineral also offers something unique to help combat another common problem producers face on their operations.
The Wind and Rain all season with the fly control, the Alticid product in it, is something that more and more ranchers are more interested in. I've had a lot of folks asking me about it, and I think it's very important out here. Flies can be a significant problem.
By far, it is the most effective product to control flies day in and day out. It's a more palatable product. The cattle eat it more consistently every day. There's some nice research on that to back that up, and so it has been the most effective in my experience all over the country where I've made those recommendations and consulted with other producers.
Guy sees firsthand the benefits of using a mineral with the fly control. He says it not only helps reduce the amount of flies, but it also eliminates the time he would have to spend administering a fly control.
Last year was the first year I ever used the fly control mineral, and I noticed a considerably decrease in my fly population around here. I still had some flies, but not near like it's been in years past. The benefit of using the mineral, fly control in your mineral, is you don't have to gather your cows and when flies are bad in this country, it's already 105 degrees, and it's hard to get your cows in the corral. There's a lot of stress. Run them up and down a lane or put them in a little corral so you can spray 10 or 12 at a time. They get a constant intake of fly control.
Purina Animal Nutrition spends a lot of time and resources on research to ensure that the products their customers have come to rely on are the best available.
When we come out with a product, the guys in St. Louis have done probably the most thorough job looking at a product and how to manage that product and the things that we need to look for in the management side. So when we come out, we have a breadth of knowledge from a management side, a performance side, on how to implement those programs to make them successful.
Being with the company for almost 20 years now, it is very comforting to know that I have an entire team of research PhDs, consultants, process engineers that are behind me and the products, so that when I have a product that I want to help a cattleman try out or utilize, I know it's going to work, it's going to be efficacious, cattle are going to eat it.
I'm a believer in Purina products, and I have recommended it to my neighbors.
Reporting from Southeast Arizona, I'm Matt Fleck for NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman.
For more information on Purina Animal Nutrition or their line of products, including Wind and Rain Minerals, just log on to our website at cattlemantocattleman.org.